Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Time with Grandpa. I am Grandpa, and my channel is about living a simple life and becoming more spiritual in nature, and a lot about paganism. So hopefully you will come along on my journey. I welcome everybody to my channel. Let me get a cup of coffee here real quick, a sip. Mm. I hope everybody is doing okay today. I thought today, since here in Nebraska, excuse me, we are having a wet day. There's a lot of rain coming down today, and so I couldn't do any filming outside. But I will try to get to my garden next week if the weather permits. Today, I want to really talk about the major concerns that most senior citizens have when they start getting older, and the top concerns for senior citizens, what they're really worried about in life. So hopefully I won't bore everybody, but I want to hit the major areas that most seniors are struggling with. Um, uh, my channel is mainly about seniors because I am a senior. I am. I've been retired. I'm retired from Walmart, and I've had a long service to my country. I was in the military for 15, almost 16 years. But I never retired from the military. I got out on a hardship discharge because I became divorced and had to raise my own children. Uh, Just a little background information about me. So I am now a senior citizen. I've been retired for over 14, 15 years now, uh, living on a small Social Security check and trying to steer senior citizens that are in my boat where we don't get a lot of money to live on, and how to live a life full of joy, and how to live a life of happiness, and how to conserve and live a simple life so you can live within your budget, the amount of money that you have coming in. I hope this will appeal to a lot of senior citizens out there, because that is my target base right now, is senior citizens and their struggles during this recession we seem to be in. One of the concerns, there are many. I think I've written down 8 concerns of living a simple life, and how to to become a better person, how to live your life simple. I say that a lot, but it's true. The more you downsize your life, the simpler your life becomes, and the less stress you have out there when you start getting older. Uh, a lot of us senior citizens, I am 74, and a lot of us are still very independent. We live on our own. We take care of our own affairs, and we're not really relying on anybody else. Uh, because we're still pretty healthy. We may have some minor health problems, but we still are able to function in society as individuals. And those are the ones I'm really going to be targeting. If you're a senior citizen that is still pretty healthy and living on your own, and if you're single, living on your own, that's even more important, because I am single. I have done raised my kids, and I am single, and I enjoy my life every day. I bring knowledgeable information to everybody on my channel, so hopefully you will subscribe. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have any questions of whatever I'm talking about today. If you have questions, ask me. I will be more than happy to answer any questions about how to improve your life as a senior citizen when you're starting to get older. And I'm talking about people that are retired and are in their late 60s, early 70s, and even beyond. If you're in your 80s, this still applies to you. the number one concern that most seniors have is mental health decline. Uh, because a lot of times we are battling Alzheimer's, and we are battling. Thank God I don't have it yet, but I always seem to see a lot of people suffering, and are tucked away in institutions or tucked away in nursing homes, and it's just such a sad life. And I want to bring information to try to make life easier for people. Uh, a lot of deaths when you become a senior citizen. A lot of our deaths relate around drug abuse. A lot of senior citizens just give up on life, and they commit suicide, or they start drinking heavily. They start withdrawing from the world, and are just have no more joy left in them. And I want to concentrate a little bit on people that are in a very depressed mode, and how to get out of that depression, and how to start living your life again, and becoming a much more spiritual and happy person, and how to avoid all those pitfalls that senior citizens seem to get into when they get older, because a lot of times they just give up on life. Uh, Live your life when you get older, live your life on a day to day basis in happiness. Don't be depressed about was going on in the world around you. Now, number two that seniors seem to worry a lot about is food insecurity. In other words, they don't make enough money to produce enough income to, you know, buy food. So they go without a lot of days. I've heard horror stories about senior citizens not eating for days, or eating very little, and not taking care of their health. You have to remember, your spirit is in a physical body, and that body needs nourishment. It needs to have food to be able to heal itself in the inside of whatever trauma you're going through, if it's mental trauma or if it's a physical thing that you're going through. Eat the correct foods. Stay away from foods that harm your body, like processed foods, and start eating better. Fresh vegetables. Start changing your diet to reflect the body and the life you want in life. It's just that simple. You have to start taking better care of yourself as a senior citizen. Not enough income coming in always seems to hurt a senior citizen, because they start cutting back on the food that they need to nourish their bodies, to sustain their life and their lifestyle. Okay, the cost is out of control with groceries these days, so I can understand why people are suffering, because there's a lot of us out there that only make 12, $1,300 a month, and we live on that. Now, who in the hell in their right mind can live on 12, $1,300 a month? Not many people. It's a struggle. It's a struggle for me, and I know it's a struggle for a lot of other senior citizens. And I had to adapt over the years, with prices going up and up and up, inflation eating away, medical treatment eating away at what little money we have coming in. It really is sad what's happening in the United States to our senior citizens, and it's time for everybody to wake up and start taking care. The government needs to take care of their senior citizens a lot more than they are, and it's just a shame, and it's a sin what is going on in our country. We seem to not be taking care of the poor anymore. Uh, uh, Blame it on whoever you want to blame it on. You have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to go around the system and adapt to it so you can live better. And that's what I'm here for. Grandpa has great wisdom to espouse upon you. Please listen to what I'm saying. Another thing that is interesting is not having enough income will always create stress, anxiety. You will just be depressed even more than you are. So let's concentrate on making our lives easier and start producing a side hustle when it comes to supplementing your income. If you're not making enough money to live on, to keeping up with inflation and keeping up with the programs that are being cut all over the place for the poor and seniors, it's time to create a side hustle to where you can have a little bit extra money coming in. And I've talked about this in other videos of mine about creating a side hustle or a side business with very little money to get you through from month to month. uh, Check out some of my videos that I have posted. Right now on my channel, I have over 500 videos posted, and a lot of them have to do with creating side hustles to help you through hard times and the recession that we're in. Now, another thing is serious illness, sometimes even death, creeps up upon you, where you start losing your friends, and it becomes a lonely single path that you go down through in life, because the older you get, people are going to die around you that you love and cherish. Some may be family members, some may be friends, but your friend group starts shrinking a lot when you get older, to where you, a lot of times, like myself, I, most of my friends have passed away. I have outlived a lot of people. Some of them have been close friends, some of them have been casual friends. But this is inevitably going to happen when you get older. I am 74, like I stated before, and my whole family has passed away, and I am left. I am the only living relative in my family that is still around in my generation. Of course, I have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, but I recognized very early, it happened to me around when I was in my early 50s. So I was around 50, 51, where I started feeling my body change, and I realized that I was going to start getting older from here on in. So I changed my lifestyle. Made a lot of adjustments in my life, and here I am, 74 years now. That's almost 20, 25 years ago. I made this change. I changed my diet. I took care of myself more. I had regular visits to the doctor to help me along with losing weight, because I have been struggling with weight loss. Ever since when I was 40, I started putting on weight, and I ballooned up to 256 pounds, and now I'm down to 200 pounds. And it was a struggle. I lost that 56 pounds, and I'm going to lose about 10 to 15 pounds more. So it's always a struggle when you have lived as long as I have. You have to start taking care of yourself. Each year that goes by, you have new challenges to conquer. You have new things that come up in your life to deal with, and that you do have to deal with them. There's always so much information. There's a vast amount of information online now. AI is here to help us along, because I use AI to help me along in every aspect of my life. And you know what? AI has been correct and right on, because my health has been improving. I experienced many years of decline in health, and now my health seems to be recovering. I have been healing myself with my pagan philosophy about drinking herbal teas. I have steered away from eating the things that I should not eat. Sometimes it's still a struggle, because sometimes I'll have a cookie or two that I'm not supposed to have. But I want to enjoy life along with living, but I also want to watch what I put in my mouth and what I put in my body, because I have a philosophy that the body is where your spirit resides. And your spirit cannot be healthy if your body is not healthy, because your spirit will struggle along with your health problems. So make sure that you consider your body the temple that your spirit resides in. That's the analogy that I always like to bring up. Your temple is your body, and your spirit resides in it. So start taking care of your body. Otherwise, your spirit cannot reside in that body, and you will eventually die and move on to the spirit world. Um, a lot of people struggle when they get older with high medical bills. Another reason to start that side hustle, because Medicare doesn't cover everything. I mean, it's a program that's there, but Medicare only pays 80% of what like if you go to a doctor's visit and have lab work done, uh, they're only going to pay 80% of that. The other 20% they're going to bill you for unless you have a supplemental insurance. Now, me personally, um, I am not paying $200 extra out of my paycheck every month to have a supplemental insurance. Until that changes, I will not have a supplement. So what I've been doing is I have been accumulating a bill from the doctor's office, the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay, and I've been making little monthly payments on those to take care of that. And I've found that I can live within my budget by billing, $25 or $50 a month extra to go ahead and pay for the 20% that Medicare doesn't cover. So I have been working on that. Because I'm not forking out $200 a month when I can get by with just paying $50 a month. Uh, to Usually when I go, so far I've luckily haven't been hospitalized for anything, because there again they only pay 80%. And you're stuck with that hospital bill, the other 20%, and you're stuck with that, and you eventually have to pay that off or file bankruptcy or whatever, or just not pay it anymore. But usually most hospitals will work with you if you make a monthly payment of 20, 25, $50 a month. They will deal with it. Social isolationism is another one, and loneliness. A lot of times when you get older, you become a lone body. You don't like socializing out with people anymore, and you kind of stay home, which causes more depression. Uh, uh, I fall into that category, and I have dealt with it over the years. Uh, my depression has been mild, and what little depression I have, because I have grandchildren and great grandchildren to always put a smile on my face, because I love being around children, and I love seeing them grow and love teaching them the wisdom that I've accumulated. Of course, some of my grandchildren now are in their 20s, and so I can deal with them as an adult talking to an adult. But I so enjoy being around the family that I have, and that keeps me from getting into a depressive mode. It lifts me up, it lifts my spirit, it lifts my frequency up when I'm around family and friends. So always remember, don't try to isolate yourself too much, because it's not good for your soul. Be around people in some form to avoid that loneliness. Lots of you will lose your ability. A lot of people lose their ability of what we call mobility. They lose that because they're in wheelchairs. When they get older, they can't walk anymore because they didn't exercise, so they let their body's muscles deteriorate. So they start getting hunched over like this and walking with a cane. Stay active. That is a good advice. Always stay active. And I'm not talking about joining a gym, but if you're physically able to join the gym and exercise on the equipment, but you don't really need that. You can do your exercises at home sitting in the chair, because I sit in this chair and lift my legs up and my arms, and I always stay active, through working in the garden, taking my walks in nature, uh, to get uplifted, uplifting your spirituality by using nature to keep you healthy. Always remember that. It's so important. Don't become a vegetable at home and end up being in a wheelchair when you reach your 80s and 90s. You want to still stay vibrant and still stay important and stay like interesting. Always remember that there is a way to combat growing older and staying active. The loss of friends, the loneliness that I've covered, uh, it's definitely it's the fast track way to get depressed by losing your friends. You know, you're always you lose friends through death because they die away, and always cherish those memories you have with those people. You know, visit their graves if you're able to. Always remember them through pictures and remember those cherished memories you built together over a lifetime. That will put a smile on your face. Always remember the positive, not the negative. It's always a great way to put a smile on that face by remembering good times, because I do it all the time and it lifts me up. Make sure you, if you're living alone, that you increase your social calendar a little bit. I'm not saying go out and be a social butterfly, but choose some good friends around you that you can rely on, because that will do more to sustain your longevity in life by being happy and socializing with your friends. Uh, Getting back to falls and mobility loss and safety issues, those can all be avoided just by exercising and going on daily walks. You know, the loss of mobility is just a fast track to the grave, because once you lose your ability to walk, you're stuck in the wheelchair. You just can't get around anymore like you used to. So you're usually stuck at home or in a nursing home. And have you ever gone to a nursing home? Have you ever seen people out in the halls where nobody's talking to them? They're just sitting there in their own little world. Uh, that's what their lives have come to. So, in order for you never to get to that point, always do some exercises. It's so important. People do not realize how important it is to exercise to keep that body functioning the way God created this body and the way He wants you or she uh, to go ahead and live your life with activity, with joy, with happiness. Don't fall into that category of depression and worrying about things and worrying about your health. Just live your life day by day. That is my recommendation for you. Now, let's talk a little bit about my final subject, and that is the spirituality of getting older, the aspect of spirituality getting older. And I'm talking about when you start getting into your 80s and 90s and even beyond. Some people live to be over 100 years old. Uh, it's just, I love seeing people live to be that old and still have joy and a smile in their life. It's just a beautiful, beautiful way to end your life and to go back to the spirit world and go back to your creator. Mental and emotional strain, a call to return to the inner sanctuary for peace of mind and a more stress free life. That's what it's all about. Your inner world becomes louder because the outer world doesn't matter so much anymore. So why concentrate on everything that's going around the world and worry about that? It's more important to go in your inside and deal with your inner world, where you will find peace, love, and happiness. Most elders are shifting from doing whatever you're doing to just being what is a sacred life, a sacred transition to your older years. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. We are the generation that survived, we have survived recessions, we have survived wars, we have survived losses of our family, and we have reinvented ourselves. Growing old these days does not mean having one foot in the grave. Growing old is a way of being active and alive and brilliant and shining your spirit like as bright as the sun. That's what life is all about. Always remember that. Spirituality will help greatly to reclaim confidence, resilience, letting community replace itself. It's just a way to drive away that loneliness that you experience when you get older. Uh, Believe in yourself and a belief that you are still worthy in life to help others. I always have believed that, and I always stress helping others when you can and where you can. This is what seniors are meant to be. We are meant there to help people, to show people the light, the wisdom, to become elders of our community, to show children how to live their lives more happy, to stay away from your phones so much. I mean, phones have become a necessity, but you can put down that phone and go out in nature and enjoy life. Always balance technology with a natural life so you can be happy and joyous. Storytellers, we are as elders, wisdom sharers, spiritual guides in life. We are mentors to people, and community roots and ancestral guides will always steer you towards the correct path. And the only thing I'm interested in is steering people towards a more peaceful and more loving path in life through spirituality, through paganism, because this is what paganism is all about, to improve your life so you can go through the life cycles, spring, summer, fall, and the advent of winter, and then the rebirth through reincarnation. Oh, I hope I've talked way too much and way too long on this video, but I want to remind everybody that I am going to bring you more of these long form videos because I have a lot to talk about and a lot of wisdom to depart upon you. So always remember, Grandpa is here for you. He prays for you. He's sending blessings to you and your family. I love you all. Guess what? See you next time. I love everybody. Bye bye till next time.